The most controversial and divisive topic in gaming, in FPS particularly, is aim assist. And in this case, Overwatch does not have aim assist if you're playing with console on PC or controller on PC, and some folks aren't ecstatic, and they at least want to have aim assist in quick play. But we'll go ahead and hear what this gamer has to say. Also, ignore the hair.
Recently, there's been a bit of controversy about aim assist in Overwatch after this Reddit post blew up about a console player who was understandably upset about not being able to use aim assist in crossplay quick play while playing with their friends. Listen, I literally never get involved in the aim assist controller versus mouse and keyboard debate.
Yeah,
frankly, I do not care even in the slightest about what aim assist is like in Apex or Warzone or any of those games, because
I do care what it's like in those games because it's a very interesting topic. But I think the gist of it is that the aim assist in Overwatch 2 isn't insane as far as I'm aware, and it legit only slows your aim. Whereas in these other games, it does a lot more than that, but the vast majority of control players will tell you, nah, bro, it's just slowing your aim a little bit. It's like, okay. All right, bud. But I do play Apex a lot. I played M&K, I play controller. I've hit masters on both, so I know a lot about that game in particular.
I simply do not play those games, so I wouldn't have any input to give. But my god, some Overwatch streamers have such big egos and think they're always right, even while spitting out the most misinformed takes about console Overwatch and aim assist. So here's some takes from someone who actively grinds both. Oh, and I know that I've gained a lot of PC player audience since Overwatch 2 came out. But before you jump to conclusions and think that I'm blindly defending what this man-child likes to refer to as unfair auto-aim,
Overwatch the first shooter to do crossplay and make it fair so you don't get aimbot when in the cross-platform pool. I don't think he's trying to say that Overwatch has aimbot for console players in the game. I think he's just comparing Overwatch not giving that, whereas other games do, supposedly, right? Like Apex, Warzone, Fortnite at one point, Hyperscape at one point. Hyperscape's dead now, rest in peace, but you did it yourself. Like, those other games had very substantially stronger aim assist, and it could be misconstrued with aimbot, because in this case, in this day and age, you ask an Apex player, hey, is this person cheating on controller? They won't know if they are cheating or just on controller. That's the sad part.
Aiming in Overwatch with a controller is genuinely so much more difficult and different than any other shooter on console.
What about Apex?
About how many different things you have to worry about aiming in Overwatch. Like, there's a bird with a rocket launcher flying over you with another bird healing it attached, while at the same time you're getting booped around by a rat in a wrecking ball.
We're talking about birds and hamsters. What about a freaking cracked out junkie injecting himself, running at you at the speed of light, using a jump pad? If you're on PC using controller M&K, you can tap strafe. If you're not, you can still wall bounce, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, momentum shifts, ridiculous things, zipline jumping. But it's difficult to hit a flying bird and a hamster in the game that both have massive hitboxes. By the way, the hitboxes in Overwatch are massive. They're huge. It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. And the aiming, I wouldn't even say is that difficult because like Overwatch was my first FPS game. Well, FPS game I played, and it wasn't rocket science to sort of get used to. And when I played mouse and keyboard, it was pretty simple to actually get good at in the first place. It just required having a decent understanding of sensitivity and DPI for your mouse, and then boom, you can get pretty good pretty fast because it's not super hard to aim in.
But yeah, you get the point. Anyways, the aiming is so much more difficult in console Overwatch than it is in other shooters, so much so that over the years they have had to add so many more aim settings and features to make it more bearable. Things like linear ramp or aim assist ease in, or
what about freaking aim yaw and all this other BS? Like, look at Apex's settings, man. It's difficult to say that you've never played Apex and Warzone and then say Overwatch has the hardest aiming ever. It's like, what? Are we smoking, my guy? My G? There's no way. Like, the settings in Apex also dunk on whatever this stuff is.
Weren't always there. And a good source to see how many people needed advice on what the
settings are pretty straightforward
even meant, as well as constant updates, is, well, me. With so many changes and difficulties faced,
people not understanding something
controller, my
doesn't mean it's complicated. It just means they
ended up being a whole TV series.
Aren't the greatest at learning sometimes.
Reiterations needed. Alternatively, it took me just about a month or so of truly grinding with a mouse and keyboard on PC to become better at aiming on Overwatch than I ever was on console with a controller and aim assist.
I mean, M&K is better than controller.
I'm good at the game at all,
if you don't
but
include
it's saying a lot
aim
when you look at the amount of time and effort I've put into making content to help others improve on console, while grinding it out myself to improve as well, only to become better grinding the exact same way in just a fraction of time with a mouse. And I'm not saying that to say that like keyboard and mouse is easier than controller or controller is easier than keyboard and mouse. It
Okay, I will say that MK is easier to controller if you do not include any like crazy form of aim assist, which there's multiple forms of aim assist, rotational, slowdown being okay, rotational being kind of ridiculous. But MK is easier and it is better when you don't include those. Now, on the flip side, controller has gotten to the point nowadays where in the highest level of play in Pro League, Call of Duty, I think the majority of players are on controller. Halo, majority of players are on controller. Apex, the majority of players are becoming controller, and you have high-level MK players, the best in the world, skilled folks who've been playing MK probably the past 5-10 years, are swapping to controller. Why in the world would they ever do that? It's because aim assist. Now, I still am not aware of how good the aim assist is in Overwatch, so I'll go ahead and say that it's not great, and it wouldn't be a big deal if they had it in quick play. But I think that people are scared of what could happen, because what could happen is what's already happened in other games. Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, Hyperscape, these other FPS games and Splitgate, Halo, that give you aim assist so strong that MK legit can't really realistically compete at the highest level, because there's something about giving folks technology that helps you aim. There's something about the consistency it gives you to help you hit your shots, whereas a human using mouse and keyboard will have human error, and it's just incomparable. There's a reason that folks are using controller more than MK in the highest level of play, and even on the average scale. Like if it's using the highest level of play, how do you think that the average player on MK stacks up against the control player using rotational aim assist? But we'll go back to Overwatch, because there's a bit of
really
rantsky
varies by situation.
rant.
But what the point is that if there actually was auto aim on console, then I feel like I'd be a lot more better after like
There kind of
5
is,
years
but just not for
playing there than I
Overwatch.
would be over here on PC with a mouse. But it's the fact that these dudes with their heads so far up their asses, feeding on nothing but their own egos over
Look
and
at the
over again,
community in
with no
Apex.
proper knowledge of how aim assist even works on console Overwatch, want to spread misinformation about it in the most condescending way is what vexes me.
Do people seriously believe that giving people borderline aimbot, depending on
I
how
don't
it's
think he's
coded,
talking about Overwatch,
is
man.
good for a competitive shooter game? Now, I'm not sure how long y'all have had the pacifier in your mouth for.
And at first, I did
A
give
little
him
bit of
the benefit of the doubt
condensation
that
right
this
there.
was a satire and like an oppression farm.
Condescending, rather.
But after scrolling through his tweets and seeing him call other people having dumb takes, I just, I had to address it. The main function of aim assist on console Overwatch is to slow down the crosshair when it goes over the enemy's hitbox. And that doesn't mean
See, there's a problem with that in the sense that that's what people say aim assist does in other games, and it does way more than that. So I'm just saying, that's a funny you say that, because in the games they say the same thing. It does way more
the
than just
enemy's
that.
head hitbox, by the way. That means anything from the feet all the way up to the head. And they made it this way
But I do think
just
Overwatch
as
is
the
very
bare
tame.
minimum to make playing on console Overwatch a bit more bearable than it would be without aim assist. But it's in no way anything near aimbot or auto aim. But if you don't believe me, take a look at Samju, who is
So one thing I never understood is why have aim assist on just console? Like if console can't play with aim assist on PC or whatever, why even have aim assist in the first place? Why do that to begin with? I think the reasoning is to try and decrease the skill gap between the high level players and the low level players. It's trying to make it have a better experience. The better experience you have overall on average, the more people you have playing your game. And if you exacerbate that, make it much greater, more of a exaggerated thing, then you get the aim assist you have in Apex and Warzone, and it's to do the exact same thing, trying to limit the gap between the high level and low level players. But the problem you get to at a certain point is the fact that people now look the same. Their aim looks the same. There is very little difference you can have player to player, and fights just become a matter of who got more aim assist in a situation. And I think that's why people are scared of it, bro. I swear I haven't heard Samito say one time that aim assist in Overwatch is broken, which it seems like this whole video is trying to say it's not broken, so it's not a big deal. But he hasn't said it is. I think he's worried about what other games could do, how Overwatch could be influenced by other games, which does matter. Look at Overwatch's monetization. Overwatch's monetization is largely in part based on how other games are currently monetizing their games, I think at least. Why else would Overwatch be charging insane numbers or insane prices for skins? Because other games do. Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, they all charge a lot. And you can say like, oh, the other games have better skin quality. Apex doesn't have better skin quality. I'll be honest, bro. I play Apex a lot, and their skins have been very lackluster for a long time, and they even charge $150 roughly for 40 random cosmetics just to get an heirloom in the game. But yet the community doesn't complain because the community is like, we like it, we're okay with it. It's wild, bro.
a GM PC player
It's
playing
wild.
on console, and tell me how blaringly ridiculous the auto aim or built-in
Is he
aimbot
at least
or
decent at
aim
controller,
screen
though?
takes about aim assist in Overwatch are.
Chat, you ready? This is why I play console Overwatch.
Before we see this, I want to say this real quick, all right? just because there are, like, even in games that have insane aim assist, there are dog water players that still can't hit shots, which is perplexing to me, but it happens. So it's not the most, like, if this person just sucks at controller, they suck at controller. It's not going to show me anything that I want to see. I want to see a decent controller player.
Watch this. Beam, bitch.
That's like me using a clip of someone missing all their shots like on controller in Apex and be like, aim assist does nothing. It's like, what? That's not, I don't know. This is a very unideal situation right here.
But alternatively, if you want to see just how difficult it would be to aim
Nah, bro.
with Overwatch's
You can't be doing Shamju like that. You can't be showing him missing all the shots on a moving target and then showing them also miss all the shots on a stationary target that's massive that doesn't move. That is mental. Like, they're just bad at controller from what I saw, at least from the clip you showed.
controller mechanics without aim assist.
They didn't show me anything.
I suggest you check out this monstrosity of a VOD where this pro PC player places gold with one and then at some point just gives up and starts using MNK anyways. And yeah, the argument can be made that Joystick, for example, is a high-level PC controller
Joystick
player
plays
without
Winston.
aim assist
He plays Reinhardt a lot. What I've seen.
The big issue is
not
how
against
much
that,
of a
but
disconnect you
don't have to
Overwatch
really
streamers have with the casual player
on
base
Ryan,
who
per se.
isn't able to spend hours grinding
Not like
every
Soldier,
day
for
and
instance.
literally just wants to spend time with their friends on a different platform in a casual game mode without being nerfed and forced to play no aim heroes.
I paused that like a bit. My bad. But he's saying how there's casual players who just will play with their friends on different platforms and have a decent time. That's well and dandy, but even if we give them aim assist, right? Even if you give folks on the casual platforms try to play with their friends on PC or whatever, and we give them aim assist, will it be enough? Or will they want more? Will they be like, man, I'm playing with my friends on PC, but I still get dunked on by keyboard and mouse players because, you know, MNK, their whole armor is too powerful. I need even more aim assists. And then they get it. Or vice versa. It's like, they're like, okay, we're playing quick play now with our friends. Why can't I play ranked with my friends? And then they can't play ranked. They're like, oh, I'm playing ranked, but I can't win games because I can't play these other heroes. I need more aim assists. And then they get it. And then boom, now you have another Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, whatever game you want to name it, with like insane rotational aim assist or dynamic aim assist. And we're back to the same issue. Like, one big draw for Overwatch right now for a lot of PC players that play mouse and keyboard is the fact that you do not get aim assist. It just is nice to not have to sit there and either hear folks talking about how I only died to that guy because they have controller, or to think you only died to someone because they have controller. Because that's what it is in other games. Other games are now run by controller. That's the reality. So it sucks that Overwatch has to be the polar opposite in this sense, but I don't know, man. I think that there's some
The fact that you
goodness
can
in
sit
that.
there with your condescending ass tone pulling random ass stats from other games that have literally nothing to do with casual Overwatch.
At Halos, obviously that was broken and it ruined
I think
the game,
stats for the games
destroyed any
matter.
chance they had of being successful, considering at the highest level of play and the lowest
How else do
level of
games
play,
learn if not by other
the
games?
controller had better accuracy stats by
Or
15%
a bit by themselves.
across the board, made the game unplayable. I see people say all the time, oh, well, keyboard and mouse is inherently better. No, it's not, right? And every big game out there has really proven that, right? Keyboard and mouse is better if you actually have the skill to capitalize on it, right?
Keyboard mouse is better if you don't include rotational aim assist on controller in the mix. If it's just mouse and keyboard versus controller, yes, keyboard and mouse will be better 9 times out of 10, especially with a good keyboard mouse player versus a good controller player. They're gonna get dunked on, like the controller player will rather. But that's not what's happening nowadays in most FPS games. Most FPS games give controller players rotational aim assist, which helps them aim, and it actually helps them bridge the gap between even the best mouse and keyboard players by a large margin. And that's why the best MK players, or some of them, are now swapping to controller at the highest level.
So the only time you really see that drop off is at high level play. Before anybody freaks out,
Even
like,
then,
you're
you
so
don't.
wrong. The Warzone devs have literally said it.
Dude, the hair is rough right
they
now.
literally came out and said in one of their articles, you know, at the highest level of play, I think it was pretty even between keyboard and mouse and controller players, but they found that your average PC player was really struggling to compete against their average controller player. Almost like that they have aimbot in the game. Stop trying to justify aim assist. If you guys really want to climb and get better and have a game be taken seriously,
Without a single clue about how Overwatch aim assist works is pathetic.
He hasn't
especially in a
mentioned
debate again that
Overwatch's
started
aim
from a
assist
post
yet
asking if there could
in
be
any of the
aim
clips you've
assist
shown.
in quick play so that console players could actually have fun grouping with their friends. And saying that stupid shit about how at the highest level, yeah, M&K is better than controller, and then saying that for lower skilled casuals, the controller will always win because it has aim assist is so bizarre, because even a monkey with no eyes can see how badly a plat or gold or whatever PC Widow with M&K would shit on a console aim assist plat Widow. And
Yeah, in Overwatch maybe, but in other games it's not the case. Dude, I'm a pretty good Apex player, and I am always facing controller players, almost always. And I guarantee you there are some very low ranked controller players that have absolutely freaking one-magged my goofy looking ass a little bit of times. And that's just reality in other games. And I don't think he's talking about Overwatch's aim assist. I don't think so. I think he's trying to just allude to the fact that other games have insane aim assist, and he also said at one point in that clip, it depends on how it's coded, and I assume he means by how strong it's coded, because aim assist has values. In Apex, it's like 0.4, 0.6, 40%, 60%, 1.0, 100% being full-on legit aimbot, other numbers being soft aimbot. So I think that it's a very big stretch to be saying that he's trying to say that the aim assist in Overwatch is broken, because he hasn't said that. You're just jumping to conclusions.
It's not even close. And this is coming from me, who's literally grinding on console like even as late as this year. You say at the end of your video that if a shooter wants to be taken seriously, then aim assist can never be involved. But when people with egos as large as yours are using their platform to spew uninformed bullshit about the shooter, then was it ever going to be taken seriously in the first place? Anyways, I understand that this is
I do believe Overwatch prides itself on its competitive integrity, because other games don't care. They're more there for the profit. And maybe Overwatch might actually change that. So control players could have some rejoice to be doing here soon, considering that Overwatch is trying to make as much, or not as much money. They're trying to be profitable. And if they can't get their shop stuff situated right, they may just make it so controller performs better, because that will actually bring in more folks and hopefully more money in their case. In conclusion, I don't see a big issue giving controllers slowdown aim assist if it's just that on both in crossplay and on PC if you're using a controller. But I do see why Overwatch doesn't want to or hasn't, and that's to try and maintain full competitive integrity. No one has to sit there and be like, oh, controller has broken aim assist, whether it is or isn't, because there isn't any in PC, which gives the game a lot more competitive integrity than other games. But we'll see if Overwatch may or may not add stronger aim assist or aim assist in general to PC, given they're trying to make money and the casual audience is majoritively controller, given that it's far cheaper to get a controller, like $60 for like a decent one, whereas in my case, $150 like keyboard, $150 mouse, and controllers don't have to be insane to perform well, whereas mouse you want to have a nice sensor and all these other things, maybe wireless, so it can definitely rack up in price. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, appreciate y'all for watching. Catch you in the next one.